another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we are discussing the killing of the rapper Takeoff of the group Migo. He was he was killed. He was killed this morning at 2:30 in the morning while playing a heated game of dice. Let's go ahead and dive into it, why don't we? Sorry for that delay there. Kind of realized that I had forgot something. So, those are the loveliness of being live when you mess up while you're live. So, let's go ahead and dive into the story for real. Why don't we? Migos is an American hip hop group from Lawrenceville, Georgia, founded in 2008. The group was originally composed of rappers Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset. They're often regarded as one of the most influential rap groups of their generation, with Billboard stating that the group influenced pop culture and the entire English language by bringing their North Atlanta roots to the mainstream. Now, Migos rapper Takeoff, he has been shot dead over a game of dice in front of his uncle and bandmate slash cousin Quavo outside of, or should I say, in front of his uncle and bandmate Quavo outside of a bowling alley in Houston, Texas. The 28-year-old, who is a member of the hip hop trio, was shot at a private party as a group gathered outside of the 810 Billiards and Bowling Houston at 2:30 in the morning. Security guards who were in the area heard the shooting but did not see who did it. Houston police confirmed that one person was found dead at the scene at 1200 Polk, but would not confirm the identity of the deceased until family was notified. Officers confirmed that there were 40 to 50 people at the location when they discovered a man with a gunshot wound to the head or neck. Now, images from the scene reportedly show the rapper lying dead in a puddle of blood after being shot in the head during the row. Now, for privacy and respect reasons, I blurred out the deceased because I just want to respect the family out of this. The shooting it came hours after he posted an Instagram story of him wearing the same outfit. And two other victims were also rushed to the hospital in a private vehicle, and it is unclear what their conditions are. Born June 18, 1994, in Lawrenceville, Georgia, Takeoff grew up with his soon to be collaborators, Quavo and Offset. I just always wanted a rap, recalled of their upbringing in a 2013 Fader interview. When Quavo was out doing sports, I was in the studio, what we call the bando, making music, going hard. Takeoff, real name Kirshnik Khari Ball, had joined his uncle Quavo for a game of dice before the shooting. Now, horrifying footage from the scene shows Takeoff lying on the floor while Quavo rushes to his side. And you can see Quavo with the red shirt on. A group started gathering around the injured rapper and tried to move him, but right away they knew quickly they better not do that, so they lowered him to the ground as Quavo screamed for help. Video of the incident shows several women shouting to get inside, while man can be heard saying, "I'm scared for you, bro." Migos was founded by Takeoff in 2008 with his uncle Quavo and cousin Offset. Offset, seen here, is married to the famous singer Cardi B. Offset was not in Houston with his father and cousin. He was over celebrating Halloween with Cardi B and their children. 4 hours before the shooting, Takeoff posted a picture of himself smoking at the bowling alley. Quavo had also posted an Instagram story of himself driving around Houston with Jazz Prince, as you can see in the back seat there, who was celebrating his birthday. Now, something that did catch my eye when they were traveling in this vehicle, this caught my attention. There was a gun right next to the driver in between him and Quavo. This is the car of that they were driving in that they posted to an Instagram story that was posted earlier in the day. So I share this because it caught my attention that he would later be shot in a heated game of dice, and here they were earlier in the day with a gun in between Quavo and the driver of the car. So that I find just ironic that here they are posting this, and then there's a gun in between, and later this gentleman Takeoff is killed in this heated game of dice. Again, I'm not saying that that's the gun. I'm not saying that anyone in that car has anything to do with this. This is still a developing story. This just happened 2:30 a.m. No one has been arrested, but that did catch my attention, so I wanted to make sure that I did include it in this video. And so in a new video that was obtained by TMZ, you can hear Quavo on the phone, presumably with a 911 operator, and he's asking, what does she need to do? A woman on the scene had said she's a nurse and was offering to help Takeoff. In an emergency audio obtained by TMZ, you hear dispatchers discussing the incident, saying 5 shots were fired, and revealing the initial caller said they heard gunshots and people screaming. Tributes have poured in for Takeoff from British rapper AJ Tracy and US rapper Russ Demon. Jameel Hill, a sports person, said, "You barely have time to recover before someone else is killed," as Jake Paul called for senseless killings to stop. We only wish. Earlier this month, Takeoff and Quavo joined forces in their debut as a duo with their album Only Built for Infinity Links. While there have been whisperings of the Atlanta rap trio Migos splitting up for good, there has been no official announcement of their disbandment. Instead, Takeoff and Quavo released Only Built for Infinity Links without third member Offset. Now, most recently, Quavo and Takeoff had released a project as the duo Unc and Few. Unc for uncle and Few for nephew, and released their latest music video, Messy, on Monday, hours before the killing. While all 3 artists have previously released albums as solo artists during their time together, some fans are convinced that there is friction among the hitmakers. The group's 2018 Migos album, Culture 2, debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200 albums chart. This marked their second US #1 album, following Culture, which featured their smash hit Bad and Bougie. The family connections is strong within Migos, as Quavo and Offset are cousins, while Takeoff is Quavo's nephew. The group released their first mixtape, Jug Season, in 2011, and a second one called No Label in 2012. In 2013, Migos had their first hit, Versace. While the single peaked at number 99 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart, it gained a new lease on life when Drake remixed the song and added a Versace of his own, even going so far as performing it at the iHeartRadio Music Festival that year. In June of that year, Migos released their YRN mixtape, which featured Versace. The following year, the group released a sequel to their no label mixtape called No Label 2. And the mixtape was a huge hit and has been downloaded nearly 1 million times and certified double platinum by Dat Piff. Now, the group, which has earned 2 Grammy nominations, released its first album, Young Rich Nation, in June 2015, which peaked at number 3 on Billboard's top rap albums chart. Migos members Takeoff, Quavo, and Offset are all directly related to each other. The rap trio began in 2008 when Quavo, real name Quavius Marshall, formed the group with his nephew Takeoff and his cousin Offset. The rap group was originally called Polo Club, but changed its name to Migos by the time they released their debut mixtape, Jug Season, in 2011. Many fans thought their name was inspired by the Spanish word amigos, meaning friends. However, during an interview with Hot 97 in 2013, Quavo and Takeoff explained the name had more meaning to the area they grew up in. And they share, we always ran together on the north side as Migos, as boys, they said. But actually, it's the hub of drugs out there. So everything that comes to Georgia got to touch Gwinnett County first. So we just called it Migos. While Migos has not officially split, fans speculated there was tension within the group when they canceled their performance at the 2022 Governor's Ball. And this is where it's so heartbreaking. Again, I blurred out Takeoff lying on the floor. And these are the type of things that are heartbreaking. If it's one thing I believe, nothing really good happens in the wee hours in the morning. I know a lot of partying goes on, a lot of drinking, a lot of whatever. And it's things like a game of dice. This is not the first time that fights or shootings have broke out over a game of dice. And being from New York City, I can remember a lot of people, shooting the dice into the wall. And I don't even know how the game goes. I never played it. I don't know the rules behind it. But I know that a lot of fights have broken out. I don't know if this game of dice had anything to do with money. Generally, when I recall seeing it in New York City, there was money involved. But here's the thing. This happened after 2 in the morning. And we all know nothing good happens in the wee hours of the morning. That's when a lot of alcohol has been consumed and a lot of partying, a lot of anger, a lot of fun, all types of emotions come out. Yeah, sure, things do happen in the broad daylight as well, but the flip side of things is one thing that we do know is nothing good happens in the wee hours of the night. Yes, if you're trying to party, then you probably would say, yeah, a lot of great things happen until something like this happens and takes an innocent life. Now, again, this is an ongoing story. And this is still developing, so we're obviously going to find out a lot more as time goes on. My friends, please pray that this family finds some healing. His friends, his family. This is a heartbreaking thing. No one should lose their life over a game of dice. I would like to think no one should lose their life at all, but we know that this is a crazy world we live in. As I'm reading the Bible, I'm always reminded of people whose lives were taken. So this has been going on since the beginning of time. As humans, we get to make choices. We get to make choices. I don't know what led up to this. My heart says no one's life should have been taken from this. So rest in peace, to the rapper Takeoff, taken from this world at the young age of 28 years old. And a lot of people are blown away. One of his songs, Walk It Like You Talk It or something like that. I didn't know who sung that song, but I definitely always liked that song. I love the beats. I love the way it comes off. That is a song that I do appreciate. I like that song a lot. So come to find out that the artist of this song, you know, that was the when my son came and I said, "Hey, did you hear about the rapper who lost his life last night?" And and when I said, "Do you know the song?" He was familiar. My wife, she doesn't listen to rap. She was familiar with the song. It's a great song. And as a tribute, I had to go play it again a few times. The video is hilarious. And so I ask you, my friends, please be careful out there. And this person, Takeoff, rapper Takeoff, now shot dead in Houston, Texas, this morning, November 1st, 2022. Kirshnik Khari Ball, only 28 years old. My friends, please pray for him and his family. Please, please pray that they find some justice. And right now, there is nobody's been arrested for this. And this is where it's like, someone had to see something. I'm going to assume that maybe there was some video. This is an ongoing investigation. And so we only hope that we find out who did this, because without finding the perp in this shooting, there may never be justice for Takeoff. And I don't know the life he led. I don't really, that's not for me to judge, decide. But what I do know is this young man lost his life way too soon. So, my friends, if you know anything about this, call it in. I'm sure there's a tip line or something. We need justice for rapper Takeoff. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have an amazing day. And please, if this is the type of content you like to follow, my friends, I would appreciate it if you hit on that subscribe button. Click on that like if you got some value out of this video. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I forgot to upload something earlier in the video, and so when it was time to start that, it wasn't there, so I had to go get it. So sorry for that little pause at the very beginning. Thank you for joining me, my friends. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day and have a safe day out there. Please be alert, be careful, be aware of your surroundings. I'm just another voice for our victims taken way too soon in this world by another senseless act of violence. Till next time, my friends, I look forward to serving you again. Peace. Have a great one.